There's nothing like the North Atlantic. It's majestic. Yeah, I love the beach. Pretty much had my first everything on a beach. You name it, first time I did it, beach. I was miserable in love, happy in love, alternately, as only a 17-year-old could be. This is where I lived. A very happy summer in the early 70s, and that was my room on the left. It's an amazing spot if you think about it. A bunch of knuckleheads working as dishwashers and waiters and pizza servers. You know, we could live on a beach like this. You know, happier, stupider times. You know, I can still hear the playlist. Strawberry Letter and the Brothers Johnson. If you put on Marvin Gaye right now, I'd burst into tears. What do? You're young, you go to the beach, you know, you get laid and you get high.
It was here, all the way out at the tip of Cape Cod, Provincetown, Massachusetts, where the Pilgrims first landed. And it was where I first landed. 1972, washed into town with a head full of orange sunshine and a few friends. Provincetown, a wonderland of tolerance, long-time tradition of accepting artists, writers, the badly behaved, the gay, the different. It was paradise.
The joy that can only come with an absolute certainty that you're invincible, that none of the choices that you make will have any repercussions or any effect on your later life, because we didn't think about those things. I don't even know what I thought I was going to be. At that point, I certainly didn't think I was going to be a cook. I don't know what I thought I was going to be. I was just, you know, hanging out in a beautiful place.
A golden time. I look back on those fuzzy memories and they seem golden anyway. Oh, there's John Waters. First love, and there's me. This guy, Johnny Yingling, was sort of a central figure in all of our lives.
Well, my name is John Yingling, and this is Spiritus Pizza. It's been here since 1971. This town is everything to me. Provincetown is a really special place where people can be themselves. We all did drugs, acted young and crazy, and Tony was probably a little wilder than some and not as wild as others. But he was always a guy who I always liked.
And you let me sleep on top of the walk-in.
Right, I actually remember that.
Spiritus. I cannot tell you how frequently I dream about Spiritus Pizza. I'm walking down Commercial Street, and I'm sort of dimly aware that Spiritus has moved, and there's a sense of dislocation and a loss as I stumble around this sort of Provincetown dreamscape of 40 years ago. Well, we're still here and living in hope. Cheers. Unbelievable.
Many of the old places in P-Town are gone. But the Lobster Pot is still going strong all these years later, and still has what I want and need, the essentials. My friends worked in the kitchen here, starting the tradition among my set that cooking work was noble toil. At that point, I never intended a career as a chef.
It was great to be a cook.
I was getting to that. Oh, yes.
So this is homemade Portuguese kale soup made on the premises.
It's been a long time, thank you.
Enjoy.
Portuguese soup, a P-Town version of the Azorean caldo verde, and just what I remembered. Kale, fiery red chorizo, linguiça, kidney beans, potatoes.
Oh, I missed you. Yeah, I missed you bad.
And that was precisely what I loved about the food here, the Portuguese thing. Dishes like this stuffed cod crusted with ground Portuguese sausage, breadcrumbs, stuffed with scallop and crab, some sherry, red sauce.
I hadn't been working for a while. I was a deadbeat. I mean, I'm just, you know, scarfing off everybody else. And Nancy Poole comes home from work and says, our dishwasher didn't show up today. You're our new dishwasher. I said, oh, really? And the next day, I put on the apron, and I didn't take it off for 30 years. I'd wake up, and all of us go to the beach, hang out on the beach till like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it was fun.
Roll into work all night, drinking, getting high, drilling out food. You got all the food you wanted, all the liquor you wanted.
All the sex you wanted.
All the sex you wanted.
It was true. It was fun. We had a great time.
And yet you were still an essential part of the economy.
It was a lot of fun, believe me, I remember.
The flagship. It's where my cooking career started, where I started washing dishes, where I started having pretensions of culinary grandeur.
That would seem like a good gig for anybody. Who else got to live like that during that time? you had to sort of be in a band. And here we were, we were dishwashers.
Now you get a little older and you get a little more sense and you realize that, like, you know, you gotta, like, pace yourself a little bit.
Otherwise, we still wouldn't be here. Well, you know, many of our friends from those days that didn't make it.
Many of my friends are dead, yeah.
As you were, keep drinking, keep drinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
This place has been here forever. There used to be the back room.
Back room's still there.
See, it's all falling into place again.
Yeah, it's not that much different.
It's early spring now, but come Memorial Day, it gets crazy around here and doesn't stop till Labor Day. Provincetown was always gay-friendly, in my time and way, way before my time. And this place, the Atlantic House, known always and forever by locals and visitors alike as the A House, is America's oldest operating gay bar. Everybody has come through these doors, so to speak. Most notably, a naked and frolicking Tennessee Williams.
Is the floor still shake, or did they fix
No,
it?
when
Oh,
we
that's
changed
really
it,
too bad.
everybody got seasick and started tripping. Now that it's even, they all say, let me have a cocktail so I can get my sea legs back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
April Cabral owns the joint now, taken over for her father, the legendary Reggie Cabral, a forward-thinking dude, if there ever was one.
It was built in 1798.
How long in the family, in your family?
Over 75 years. My father, during that time, he had Billie Holiday appeared, he had Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, all the big names of jazz.
How has town changed? Has it changed?
Oh, I think tremendously. Gay lifestyle is much more accepted.
Look, in 1972, my feeling was that this was a gay town and that I was here at the pleasure of, you know, somebody else, which is sort of the opposite of everywhere outside of here at that time.
Oh, yes.
This was a largely Catholic,
Oh, yeah.
Portuguese, conservative fishing community, but it was also known as Helltown.
It was Helltown. That's where the Puritans sent their rejects. Right out here.
Right. Farther out on the hook.
That's not kidding. Provincetown, I think, always had the mixture, really, of the bohemian people and the fishermen, the pirates, the writers, the drunks, all that.
Anyone who had a lifestyle outside the mainstream was welcome here, pretty much.
Whatever floats your boat, you know? It's all good.
Oh, how I wish we could both go back to that summer.
Over a century ago, Provincetown was a hard-working fishing village with multi-generational families of fishermen.
My name's Bo Gribbin. My father fished, and I was pretty much raised here my whole life, where I'm from. It's who I am. But it used to be like 2 out of 3 families in this town, this community, were fishing families. Most of them are now gone, and we're really like a minority. It used to be a fishing community with a homosexual problem. Now it's a homosexual community with a fishing problem.
The first Portuguese fishermen arrived here in 1840. The Main families created a community built around fishing, and this town lived off that industry well into the 20th century. It persisted even when I was here, keeping up old Catholic fishing traditions like the blessing of the fleet. These days, however, there are fewer and fewer boats to bless.
My name's Scott Rowe. I'm a commercial fisherman. Sea scallops, 4th generation. I started when I was 5. It was cool back then. There was like 70 or 80 boats here. They were 5 or 6 deep. Now it's just down to like 7 or 8. No, I'm wicked proud of my heritage, and I would never do anything else. This is my office, man. Look at it. I'm gonna do this until I can't move anymore.
We roll into town like clockwork, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's quiet. The town's been ripped up all night long. We come down here, hit the water. What could be better?
Well, good time of year to be here, and nice weather today.
Yeah, pretty nice day.
Doing good.
It's a little breezy. It might be a little nautical.
All right.
A little bit.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I've watched The Deadliest Catch, so
So you ready?
I'm ready.
Time to press the fun button. Clear. All clear. Used to be that it was the best thing in the world. We were like, the greatest thing about fishing was you were kind of like a cowboy, like a pioneer. You could go out and as hard as you could push, competition was welcome. We were fiercely independent. That independence is like little by little taken away.
Is there a limited number of stuff out there?
Well, there's a total allowable catch. We're on a 600-pound trip limit right now.
And the payout ain't much. Do the math. A good day of scalloping brings in, say, 9,000 bucks. From that 9,000, take away 3,000 for the lease, 1,000 for fuel, and split the remainder amongst the crew. And on top of that, fishing's really just a crapshoot. Many days, there's simply nothing to catch.
So why the are you doing this?
Well, it's still what we love to do. Like for us, we say it all turns to shit when we come back around the breakwater. Like once we get out to there, we feel like we're at home.
Like I said, it ain't easy. Today, according to Bo, Scott, and Zev, this was just a little breeze.
How rough does it have to be when you look out and say, I'm not going out today?
It starts like blowing like 30, 35. We like days like this because the competition stays in. Really?
Pussies.
My dad used to say when you're dry, you're not making any money. We're fishing.
So it's not gonna snap and come flying back, take your head off.
Not too often, no.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it's a bummer. In the summer, you'll be able to smell the coconut. Another big trick we have, because now the guys decided they like this part of the beach, right? So they're all out here nude sunbathing. So I pick up my glasses and I tell them, wow, look at the breasts on that girl. And you give it to them and they see something they weren't expecting to see. It works every time, though. Can't believe he didn't cook nothing. Can't believe it, man. What? Got Anthony Bourdain on deck. We don't even have nothing to eat. The best part of it, the anticipation to see what's in there. So every tow, I'm like, I just can't wait. You're like looking, you're like, what's gonna be in there? What's gonna be in there? Sometimes it's a disappointment, but a lot of times it's a disappointment. How many did we get? Got a few. Is there? All right, we're out. That's why it's fishing and not catching.
Yeah.
They'll taste all that much better.
This place had been here forever when I rolled into town. How long has this place been open?
For our time. I think this is the only place in town that's unchanged.
These are paintings of customers.
Yeah.
How long do I have to drink here to get my face up there? 40 years?
Couple more years. Yeah, at least.
Back when I worked in town for fishermen, there was the Forecastle, Cookie's Tap Room, and this place, the Old Colony. Of the three, it's the only one left.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, wait a minute, I recognize these. Yeah, you guys eat scallops?
Yeah.
As brawny, hardworking men of the sea, we deserve these beers, these finest of all oysters, the Wellfleets.
Wow. The finest oysters known to man. How are you, then? These are fantastic. Wow, what a treat. Is there going to be a next generation of fishermen in the family? What happens after you guys?
It's gonna die. The next generation of fishermen that are like coming onto our boats, they're opportunists for the income. It's not for the love of being on the water.
This is the end. The fisheries is gonna die. Cheers.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
This is going to end badly.
Say.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
It's a nice house. I mean, it just feels like I never left in a lot of ways, but of course, it's 40 years later almost. And that was the Sodom and Gomorrah by the sea over there. You know, a big candy store for a horny, stupid 17-year-old with a taste for chemicals. You know, I was an angry young man. What the hell was I so angry about? It came as a rude surprise to me when I turned 30, because I'd always sort of figured I'd be dead by then. I was still quite some time away from my first bag of heroin, but you know, there's a lot of ways it was a foregone conclusion. My whole life was sort of leading up to that point, to my first bag of dope.
A few miles down the road from Greenfield is Shelburne Falls. The good old days that everybody used to talk about back when I was a kid. Sundays, church and picnics. Saturday nights, Sox games, beer, and bowling. The Shelburne Falls bowling alley is where time seems, anyway, to have stopped. First opened in 1906, this is the second oldest bowling alley in America, dedicated to old-school New England-style candlepin bowling. The Holy Rollers, a crowd of septuagenarians who grew up in Shelburne and plan, and this is a reasonable expectation, to kick my ass. They've been playing here since the 50s.
I was never allowed to come near the bowling alley.
Really, this is a den of iniquity?
Oh, this was, my aunt did not think this was a good idea.
Man, it's a tiny little ball. This looks really hard. All right.
It's very different, Shelburne Falls. I grew up here.
Right.
Very different. People don't know each other as well as everyone used to know each other.
When I grew up in Greenfield, everybody had jobs. I worked from the time I was 13. If I had to go back there now, I don't believe in drugs. I don't have anything to do with them. But what choice would I have? Standing on the corner? I probably would get into a business. What's a good business? Well-paying business. I'm sorry. I mean, that's where we are.
Yes, it used to be a very different world, towns like this one, and there were many. But like everywhere else, it seems the mills, the factories closed down, and with them a certain kind of social contract with the people who worked there.
My name is Ed Gregory, originally from Turners Falls, born and brought up here, born in 1945. My father was an employee of the Strathmore Mill, as was my grandfather. During the heyday, there were 3 paper mills, a cotton mill, a silk mill, a foundry. It was just a beehive of activity here.
Back then, a company town like this, the company actually took care of you. They built and provided homes for their employees, schools. The river provided energy. The company provided nearly everything else.
The heyday is gone. People are definitely struggling to find work. The town just kind of died during the 80s. When the folks came to work, they were immigrants.
Attracted by the manufacturing here?
Correct. You know, made it a possibility of owning a home in a real decent part of the county here. So my father was here, a millwright. A millwright's job is a jack of all trades, if you will, if there was something that needed to be repaired.
So you could work in a mill, live in a nice home, send your kids to school, make a living, all on a mill salary.
You bet.
It's unthinkable now, almost. What happened to the business?
Things are going to other countries, but not coming back to the United States.
This time became redundant.
Correct.
Again and again, all over the country, I keep running into situations like this, where industry has died or fled or simply relocated. I meet people like Charles Garbiel, hometown heroes who, for some reason, though they could probably go anywhere, take their skills and return to where they grew up. Shady Glen Diner. Today's special, a tribute to the old European immigrant culture of the area, the New England boiled dinner.
So I hear rumors of corned beef and cabbage, is that right?
Yeah, we do, every week we do a corned beef and cabbage dinner.
Slowly cooked corned beef, boiled potatoes, steamed cabbage.
Wow, that's a beast. Awesome, thank you. How long have you been here?
2 years.
Were you from this area?
Yeah, I grew up here and I've been coming here since a kid and went through a few owners and then it came up for sale and decided to give it a shot.
Generally speaking, who are your customers?
Most of them, they're retirees. They've been coming here since they were 30.
And this you don't see so much anymore. Dino-era homemade pies, and lots of them, all baked on premises. raspberry cream pie for me. Thank you. This is not something that we see a lot of. Old school pie like that. And this number of them?
Yeah, everything is made here. And they're all the original recipes from the 60s. So,
Oh, yeah.
The index cards are so old, they're all faded yellow.
This is exotic for me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, how's business?
It's getting better. The drug problem has started to really get rampant. Took over May 1st, 2012, and by the end of that year, I was broken into 4 times. It wasn't just me that was broken into, it was multiple businesses time after time. I came in one morning to open up, and I actually had a guy in front of the register, and he got up and pulled a knife out. I realized it really wasn't worth anything over a knife, so.
I think what you're doing here is terrific. I mean, you know, our man can go and get a good hot open turkey sandwich and a good slice of pie. It's a beautiful thing.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird.
My name is Heather Taylor.
And if that mockingbird won't sing,
I'm a mother of 3.
he's gonna buy you a diamond.
The 2 older kids experienced my addiction. My addiction started with pills. I started sniffing heroin. I shot up for the first time, and shortly thereafter, I found out I was pregnant. I had my daughter. She was in the hospital for 6 weeks because she was addicted to the methadone, and I had to watch my baby go through withdrawal. My son was 4, and my daughter was 6 weeks when they were taken away. I lost my kids for 33 days shy of 2 years. I became serious about my recovery.
So is this the bad part of town, or is this just a place where you're unlikely to be people to find you?
Just a place where people are unlikely to find you. I wouldn't necessarily say there was a bad part of Greenfield. I mean, it's probably pretty spread out bad, I guess you'd say.
So what would you do? Would you come here to shoot up?
Yep. You know, we'd go down here and just hang out down there. I bet if we walked along here, we'd probably find needles and bags and, you know.
So basically you'd come down here, shoot up, and then where you gonna nod out? Just sit down and...
Just sit down and hang out, or if it's a day like this, probably just hang out under the underpass over there.
Not exactly La Vida Loca.
No, as you can see, all the trash and yuck. It's dirty and gross, and there's probably people who live down here.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people in Greenfield.
What do you think now, like when you see somebody like who's clearly junk sick on the street?
You know, it gives me that yuck, sick feeling, and it scares me. Like it reminds me why I don't want to be out there. It's just scary. A friend of mine overdosed January 1st of this year, and my brother-in-law overdosed in Wendy's bathroom, and they found him, and they brought him back to life. He was dead in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my Narcan. I carry this around. I have one of these in my house, and I have one of these in my car. I have a fear that my husband's gonna relapse and I'm gonna find him dead. You just put this in here and squirt it up their nose.
Now, in most cases, as I understand it, they're right out of it. I mean,
Yeah, they're right
what's
out of it
happening?
and they're instantly sick.
They don't wake up happy, but they wake up.
But they wake up.
Okay, you're in a piece of me, you walk to the bathroom, and there's
somebody's
somebody
on the
blue
floor.
there. Are you saving their life?
Yep, I'm saving that life. Absolutely. And then kicking their ass.
Better now? Life better now?
Absolutely. My kids have been home 3 years. You know, I no longer have to watch my back. You know, I live a pretty straight and narrow life, which, you know, people might say is boring, but I love my life today. I'm grateful.
Where are we headed?
This way.
Okay.
To the Recover Project. This is where my recovery started.
Started nearly a decade ago on one of the 2 main streets of Greenfield, the Recover Project is community-based, an open arms program aimed at helping addicts stay clean.
Given the opiate heroin epidemic in our community, we'd like to start the conversation, just kind of sharing with one another, you know, what happened at that point of our life, what that was like.
So as a child growing up in a home in addiction, I didn't understand how they could do all the stuff that they did to me and my brother and sister. Like, don't you love me enough? Then I became a mother, and then I became a heroin addict. And I did all that stuff to my kids.
My doctor was my biggest drug dealer. I fell down a flight of stairs. I'd just been married, had a baby, was working 2 jobs, college on top of it. Next thing you know, I'm on these prescriptions. That's where it all began for me.
What are the odds that you're gonna own a house? What's the odds that you're gonna have a nice car? What's any car, a place to live, all that stuff? Seems less and less likely all the time. Contrast that with what happens when you stick a spike in your arm, and why wouldn't you?
So I have this picture in my head of when I got the phone call that my daughter's father had been in the accident and I had just had a C-section. And they come in with this needle to give me Ativan, I think, and all I really needed was a hug. Like, I just needed someone to come up to me and give me a hug and say, I care about you, Caitlin, and everything's gonna be okay.
I'll tell you something really shameful about myself. The first time I shot up, I looked at myself in the mirror with a big grin. You know, something was missing in me, whether it was a self-image situation, whether it was a character flaw. You know, I came from a, stable family, the suburbs, I had a lot of advantages. There was some dark genie inside me that I very much hesitate to call a disease that led me to dope. I didn't have anyone else who could have talked me out of what I was doing. An intervention wouldn't have worked. I didn't have a child. I have a 7-year-old daughter now who I never would have had. I never would have thought. I looked in a mirror and I saw somebody worth saving, or that I wanted to at least try real hard and save. Anybody could find themselves very easily in this situation. And, I look back on that and I think about, what I'll tell my daughter, that was Daddy. Ain't no doubt about it. But I hope that I'll be able to say that was Daddy then, this is Daddy now. That I'm alive and living in hope. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
In Massachusetts, the clam bake is a ritual going back to the Flintstones, before the Pilgrims. Today at the long-standing, locals-only shooting club Schützenverein, as it's called in German, for the immigrants who first started this rustic fraternity back in 1912. Club leader Ray Zerkowski takes me through the fascinating and arcane process of creating an old-school clam bake.
Basically, we build a kiln with hardwood and stone. We burn it down, remove the wood, we cover it with seaweed and the corn husk, and we put our clams and lobsters and corn in there like a pressure cooker right now.
Is that a pig hiding in there also?
No. We're gonna pull a tester out right now, and you can kind of see what we got here.
Let's eat.
All right.
First, some good chowder, and there really is only one kind of chowder, New England clam chowder.
Beautiful. That's good.
Steamer clams, lobster, corn, potatoes.
That's a pretty luxurious clam bake you're doing here.
That was amazing.
Everybody's attention for a second. The Opioid Education and Awareness Task Force came together several months ago. I don't think we realized how quickly this could turn into a crisis for us.
Everybody in this room has been touched by or impacted by narcotics in some way. The Franklin County Opioid Safety Task Force is a grassroots response. Doctors, law enforcement, led by Franklin County Sheriff Chris Donnellan, addiction specialists, and addicts themselves are coming together to find a community-based solution to what is finally being recognized as a public health crisis rather than simply a criminal justice problem.
It's a great opportunity to come here tonight to break bread and look at the successes that we have had so far. I think what makes me more proud than anything else about living in Franklin County is that we will not sit back and wait for anybody else to solve this problem for us. We're going to be a model for the Commonwealth and for the nation on how we save our young people and how we save our community.
You know, again, it's a change. The cities were the place where all of the bad stuff was supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to be nice towns like Greenfield, right?
It isn't the image that people used to have 20 years ago, that it's a junkie in an alley somewhere using a needle. It's not. It's your kids, it's your neighbors.
The worst, I think, is when you have these young people who break a leg and they go to the doctor and they get a prescription for Oxy and become addicted to it. These are any kid who plays a high school sport. It's a horrible circumstance when that happens.
It's only started in the past couple of years. Yeah, the heroin was around, pills were around, but we didn't have people dying.
Once you've been busted for heroin, that's a hard thing to live down.
You got to get rid of that shame factor so people can deal with it, address it, and get support from the community.
I feel like we're going to lose a whole generation of our young people. 18 to 22 is what we're seeing the most. The district attorney, the sheriff, myself, the police department are all united. This task force has grown to over 100 people in a matter of 6 months, and that's what we're committed to doing. And you know, we will do it till the day I die.
I've lost one daughter to drugs. And, you know, whatever it takes.
Let's start by being honest with ourselves. As a nation, for decades, we were perfectly happy to write off whole neighborhoods, whole cities, whole generations of young men and women, as long as it was an inner city problem, an urban problem, which is to say, a black people problem, a brown people problem. Send them to prison, into a system from which they'll never return. Maybe now that it's really come home to roost, now that it's the high school quarterback, your next door neighbor, your son, your daughter, now that grandma's as likely to be a junkie as anybody else, we'll accept that there has never been a real war on drugs. War on drugs implies an us versus them. And all over this part of America, people are learning there is no them. There is only us. And we're going to have to figure this out together.